Welcome to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is a live streaming video podcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans. And today we're continuing our review of Star Wars, Star Wars Skeleton Crew with Season 1, Episode 3, Very Interesting as an Astrogation Problem.
This is Star Wars?
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew.
The edibles might have just kicked in.
Damn it, I should have gotten them. This is the one time I'm like, I'm going to be sober. I'm going to do this thing sober.
Yeah, that's you can't do that, man. That's this you have to go into it inebriated. So I watched this episode sober this morning because I'm like, you know what? I was fucked up. Well, I mean, not fucked up. I was a little on the inebriated side when I watched the first two episodes, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it was just because I was a little high. I was being a poopy pants. Maybe that's why that was so bad. Stone cold sober today with just a beautiful cup of coffee in my hand, and the whole 41 fucking minutes was just like, why? Yeah.
I hate that people love this so much because I genuinely don't understand. I feel like I'm watching The Last Jedi again. And everyone's just like, this is amazing! And I'm just like, this is the worst, most nonsensical bullshit I've ever seen in my life. How the fuck does everyone love this?
Right. And it's just, like, I swear, it's for people that just jerk off to nostalgia, but don't actually understand the finer points of the things that they are jerking off to. Yeah. Like, oh, I loved Goonies as a kid. Cool. When was the last time you watched Goonies? How much do you still love that fucking movie?
I actually still really love it.
Me too.
Like, really?
But I feel like most people wax poetically about shit they don't actually comprehend, and then it just rubs off on other aspects of their life. Yeah. And this is just a prime example of that. Yeah. No, I fucking love the Goonies. I got a goddamn Goonies tattoo. Like, man, come on. It was a bad example, I'll admit, but still.
All right.
Just fuck this show.
It's frustrating because at every moment I'm like, oh, that owl is 100% Harry Potter. Like, that owl does not belong in Star Wars. There's nothing Star Wars about that fucking owl. It's ridiculous. It does not belong here. And yet they made it up for the show, so now it's Star Wars canon, and everyone's just like, yay, owls, woohoo! Like,
yeah, don't get it.
What the fuck is going on here? Like, I genuinely feel like I'm taking crazy pills or something. Because none of this makes any sense. Like, we were talking like briefly during the intro to the show, where you had mentioned the hyperspace thing. That's like very first film of Star Wars. Han Solo gives the whole diatribe about hyperspace, about how you can't just do it because you'll jump right into a star and that'll be the end of your trip real quick.
Yep.
And yet that's exactly what they do. Like, in this show.
Like, the thing is, it's one thing if there's already points, in the fucking computer, because there's a lot of math involved, and then just he walks over, oh, it's fine, beep boop beep boop boop, okay, let's go. Like, that's not how that works at all.
Yeah. And here's the worst part about this. Like, halfway through, my edible was kicking in, and I was like, this isn't horrible. If I just don't think of this as Star Wars, it's not horrible. It's like Spy Kids. I would never watch it, like, ever in my life. But it's a thing that exists. And
I mean, hey, at least it's Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. Maybe it's not the worst thing. It's not Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Book of Boba Fett is worse than Spy Kids, and it's the same dude. Oh, yeah. Jesus
so,
Christ.
like I'm doing that math in my head the whole time. When it ends, I'm like, it's not horrible, all right? It's not horrible. And I'm like, I'm just justifying this to myself. Like, I'm convincing myself that it's not as bad as it actually is so that I don't feel like I'm on the outside because everyone loves it and I don't want to be on the outside. I'm clearly on the outside here. And I'm okay with it. Like, I get it. Like, not everyone's taste is the same. And the thing is I love the never-ending story. When I hear clear musical and story beats that are hitting hard from Neverending Story in this episode specifically, I was like, I'm here for it. Like, I love that.
Didn't even think about the musical cues, but yeah.
The Goonies and all that shit. Like, it was just hitting me hard, making me think, This is reminding me of that film. I would rather watch that film.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of that film. I would rather watch that film. Never at one point was I like, this is great standalone individual, like its own thing, and I like it for its own thing.
Yeah.
And no one watching this, not one human being, can honestly be like true and honest to themselves and say that this is an original thing. This is meant to be a nostalgia berry from the 80s Amblin films. It was written that way. It was produced that way. And that's why people like it. Not for what it is, but for what it reminds them of. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so frustrating. Like, I like the snappy, shitty, shit-talking girl. Like, that's the type of girl that I always wanted when I was a little boy looking for little girls. I've always liked strong women. I like women with attitudes. Like, that's what I wanted as a little kid. And so I like seeing that in kids, like, that sort of individualism and snappy repartee. But when you sort of do an A-B comparison of every single character, all the kids, and match it up to Goonies, it's far too close to feel original.
I mean, all you have to do is put them side by side and say, "Oh, we need a couple more kids."
Yeah,
like that's literally it. It's
ridiculous.
So
and then we get Jude Law's character, and all I can say is he's no Han Solo.
Right.
This character is meant to be the Han Solo role, but he is not.
No,
at all.
Absolutely not.
And like, he's supposed to be this weird amalgamation between Luke and Han, and he's supposed to be a scoundrel, but he's got force powers, but he's a scoundrel. And it's clearly just trying to do member berries for Star Wars New Hope. And it's just, he's not, I've never seen anything that Jude Law has been in and been impressed by his performance. Ever.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
That's the thing. I know him. And I've seen plenty of his movies. I could not tell you a single fucking role he's ever been in.
Yeah.
Because he's that
just
unmemorable.
Forgettable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, he does a serviceable job with what he's given to do. But that's all it is serviceable. It's not, like, all of the jokes that were meant to be landing, like with him, like, being, a curmudgeon going back to get the droid, and then he's like dragging the droid in when all those fucking pirates are coming after him and shit. There's meant to be like laugh tracks, but it wasn't funny.
Right. Or like when he was making food and then eating.
Yeah, in front of them, and they're just like, oh.
I was like, man, that scene went on too damn long. It's like, this is just, come on. Just move on, B. Fuck.
Whoa. Chris just went to like the next level. Wow. Wow. I thought with the voice, it wasn't going to be the owl. I thought it was going to be the lady from the Bad Batch, the lizard Trandoshan lady.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, when I first heard the voice, I was just like, oh my gosh, did they pull in the Bad Batch Trandoshan woman? Because that would have been funny. But instead they have this whoo, like weird fucking owl thing. I don't even know what it was. I was just like, this is like Harry Potter. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it was.
How did this get greenlit in fucking Star Wars? I don't understand what the fuck was happening.
Yeah.
You thought Jude Law was good in the Spielberg movie AI? I remember AI. Don't remember Jude Law.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember being in it.
Which just proves our fucking points. So yeah, like I really do want to enjoy this, and I'm just having a really hard time.
Yeah, and
don't get it.
That's the thing. It's like, we never go into this shit thinking, oh, I want to hate this. No, we want to fucking like it because it's Star Wars. We want to like Star Wars. And
I desperately love all the things they're calling back to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like this, like member berries are a beautiful, delicious treat for a reason. It's because we like them. But yeah, without any sort of substance, it's just it's eating a jar of icing, thinking, man, this is a good substitute for cake.
Yeah, that's a really good, because at first you're just like, yeah, icing, and then it's just like sickly.
Yeah,
and then you just want to puke.
Yeah, your second bite in, you're like,
Need to make better life choices. Shit.
Well, okay, it might be more than two. But still.
Oh, man. So ultimately, like, the whole mystery is the kids are trying to get back to Aten, and so Jude Law convinces them to go to this fucking give a hoot, don't pollute owl.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. Was that an owl? Give a hoot, don't pollute.
I think so.
I mean, it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, they go to this owl who doesn't trust Jude Law's character. I don't know the dude's name, Jod, because I don't give a fuck because he's a piece of shit. I don't even care about him. So he's doing it because he wants to make bank. And so he's trying to get the kids there so he can make a little Skrilla on the side. And this lady, this owl creature, doesn't want to help him. She thinks he's like kidnapped these kids, but then she really wants to help the kids. And if you ever need me. And at the moment, my wife was like, how the fuck are they going to contact you?
Yep.
If you said if they needed you, they don't have phones. They can't even find their home.
They don't even know who the fuck you are.
They never once told you your name. Like there was no name shared. So how the fuck are they gonna reach out to you, you dumb bitch?
Yeah, I thought I had missed something when that was happening, but then I guess I didn't miss anything.
Nope.
That just wasn't in there.
It was just dumb fucking writing, and every idiot who likes this show is just like derp derp derp. Funny owl. I like Harry Potter. I don't even know why I'm saying Harry Potter because I don't remember an owl in Harry Potter, but that's just what it reminds me of.
A lot of owls in Harry Potter.
Okay, there you go. Then we get to like X-wings coming after the ship, and I was just like, they'd blow that shit out of the water. What are you doing?
I was like, okay, they know there's kids in there, so they're gonna shoot the fucking thing down. And yeah, it was a weird choice. And then it gets out. Oh well, I didn't want to shoot at them. There's children. Like, then what the fuck were you doing? Like,
yeah. Then why did you lay out a few rounds? A few laser rounds.
That's the thing. They shot first. Yeah.
Oh man, so dumb. And so yeah, clearly the coordinates that the owl girl gave Jod to take the kids to At-Atten isn't correct. Like she already tried to sabotage him, and she is just like, "Ooh, interesting." She's like talking as if she was like the little weird elf creatures in a Never-Ending Story. Like, it's my turn. I'm the scientist. Let me see. Like that was literally their voices, but in an owl's body.
Yeah,
it was fucking weird. And like they just sort of like go off, and the whole mystery is he Crimson Jack? Is he a Jedi? Is he a scoundrel? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Right?
Does anyone give a fuck?
Well, why can't he be all of it? Yeah.
Or not? Like, who gives a fuck who this guy is? Like, he's never once like. He has the Force, supposedly. And so he could have let himself out of jail, but then he wouldn't have been able to find a ship. But he found a ship if you just go to any docking port. And if you have the Force, you can trick people into getting on a ship and getting the fuck out. So his story makes no sense at all. And then the pirates go after him because he got out. Did they not know he had the Force powers at all? Did he like live as their captain for however long he was their captain before he gave him that one job that didn't result to dick all in the first episode and they put him in the jail? Like, none of this makes any sense. And so they're trying to set him up as like this weird scoundrel guy with Force powers, like I had mentioned at the top, a mix between Luke and Han. And he doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the interest. He doesn't have the wit. He doesn't have the humor. He doesn't have the story arc. He doesn't have anything that those other characters have. He's just like a blah, generic baloney human with hair. That's it.
Pretty much.
I don't get it. I just don't fucking get this show. And the only benefit of this show, and oh, god damn it, this. He gets to the ship. All right, kids, we got to go. There's like people right behind us. You work for us.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You can't get on the ship unless you admit that you work for us and do what we say. I'd be like, fuck you, kid. Pick them up, move them aside, and walk up the ramp.
Right. Well, I mean, quite frankly, you got the Force. You don't even do that. Just whoop.
Yeah.
Like,
just take their feet out from under them and just walk right on by. Like, what the fuck are you doing kowtowing to these whiny little brats who don't know fuck about anything, and they literally need you, and yet they're trying to pull some weird rank on you? Get the fuck out of here. So dumb. Here's why I like Star Wars so much. It never talked down to you. It was, no, your children watching young adults go through trials and tribulations, and it didn't talk down to you. There was scary ass shit happening all the time, and they were confused and they didn't understand what was going on, but they dealt with what was given to them to deal with, and they fought through it. In the end, they fucking won. And this is not that. This is a bunch of whiny little bitching kids trying to take control and be, these adult little children. And these adults just like kowtowing to them for no reason at all, but that our society think that that's an okay thing to do. It's stupid. It doesn't help children in storytelling. It doesn't tell a good story. No. And it's just leaves it feeling fucking hollow. And yet everyone's jerking off to it and swallowing their own cum. I just don't fucking get it.
Yeah, me either. It's like, that's the thing. Like, Star Wars was always for kids.
Yeah.
It's always been for kids. So how are we going back to it being for kids? So I hate that shit, man.
If they wanted to get in touch with the owl, all they have to do is take 3 licks of the lollipop.
That makes perfect sense.
That tracks. Yeah. That is science, is what that is. That's what I learned from watching Saturday morning cartoons growing up. So yes, I concur.
Definitely.
What would make this? If you were in charge of this show, and at this point, like episode 3, how would you steer this boat? How would you turn it around to make it actually an intriguing Star Wars story?
Fuck. Like, what era is this in again? This is New Republic era?
No, this is after Jedi. This is like New Republic. Duh. Yeah. Fuck. Sorry.
So I was like, wait, is that what you're saying right now? Like, the only thing I could see making this, or like to steer it to be something, is they get captured by either the New Republic or by the Empire, and then go through, something with them. Yeah. Like, we need to find where you are from, blah blah blah. We need to arrest this guy. Like, that could make it interesting, but I really don't fucking know.
For me, I would throw in some sort of consequence. Like something like a death or something like genuinely terrible. Mm-hmm. Because right now the kids have a droid that will literally do anything for them, up to and including murdering someone, as inferred in this episode. Mm-hmm. They've got a scoundrel who is trying to take advantage of them, but they easily take control of him, so it's not a problem. They're completely lost in space, but they're just going to find their way because it's in the story. It's in the script, so they will find their way back home. And the parents are going to find a way to get off planet to find their kids, though they probably won't, because they want the kids to be the hero of this. And then, they'll have like that final episode moment of the parents like tearing up, like, I was going to find you. I missed you so much. Like they're helpless. Yeah, the kids could do it all.
That'll be it. Exactly.
But Star Wars requires consequence. It has always had it in every single show that is worth the fucking salt. The very first Star Wars film ever, fucking Uncle Ben died. Like, he was cut down by the big black mean guy. Like, right. Fuck. And early in the show too. So like, that's what we need. We need some sort of like dire consequence to make it Star Wars. So that's the first thing I would do. The second thing, the kids are you're not supposed to be in control of your destiny in Star Wars. You're supposed to make do with what's happening and find a way to twist it to a better outcome. So for Luke, he lost his fucking family. In like Act 1, he lost his family. In Act 2, he lost the only other connection to his home planet. So in this, if there's consequence, then Jude Law's character dies. That means the kids are going to have to figure out how to like make their way through this galaxy on their own. The droid fucking bites it. Act 2, the second person that was helping them out is now gone. Mm-hmm. And now they're just stuck with their own wherewithal, and they have to just try to maneuver. They're wrapped up with the New Republic. The New Republic finds out that it's an Old Republic planet that they're trying to go to, and then they have to get away from the New Republic. But then they're trying to navigate getting away from the New Republic with getting away from the pirates that are also trying to take advantage to get that mystical treasure. And the kids end up finding their way back home on their own terms without the assistance of all these other people that are more capable than themselves. in my opinion, that would make it an infinitely more interesting story. It would give the
Agreed.
kids an actual reason to shine because they have no other choices and they can't lean on other characters to figure out a way home. And it empowers the kids because right now they're not empowered. They're just being sassy. That's not
Yeah, pretty much.
effective. You have to like meet the situation and overcome it. In this, it's always adults or other creatures helping them overcome it. And that's not the same. And it means that the kids have no autonomy, they have no skill or ability, and it's hollow because of it. You need to make the kids work for their shit, and they're not doing it right now.
Yeah. And it's frustrating because I don't think they will. Like,
Yeah,
at all.
I mean, Chris, you bring up a great a great point here. Kids killed to shock an audience to steer it towards what we've seen in every Star Wars movie. That would, if like one of the kids ate it, that would like change everything. And immediately, as soon as there's consequences, then shit has to change, you know? But they won't do it because they want it to be cutesy and happy and, you know, sort of silly.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's so upsetting because I know this could be good. I mean, it could be great. Still with all of those member berries. It's just they're taking the easiest, most lazy route, and it doesn't do service to the story or the audience.
No, not at all.
Opinion. I don't know. I mean, ultimately they escape the X-wing contingent that comes to get them, and they fly off into the sunset. So who knows where it goes next? And I got to be honest, I don't care where it's going to go next. I like some of the characters though. I mean,
yeah, it just seems like it's going to be every time they bounce out, they're going to go to another place that's exactly like that last one.
Yeah.
And I don't want a season of that. That's boring.
Yeah. Even one of my least favorite, not my least favorite, but one of my least favorite animated shows, The Bad Batch, this last season and the season before it, at least it gave us consequence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it gave us dire circumstances. And like, I don't particularly enjoy that show, but I respected it for doing that. There's no way they'll ever do that in this, but they need to because it would really, really elevate the show a lot.
Yeah.
Chris, you definitely see our point. You appreciate our reviewing anyway. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Neil, I think is awesome. I really like Neil. I like Fern. I even like KB for some insane reason. Wim, I just don't give a fuck about. Like, he's like the main kid.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm just like, I could do without.
I don't know what his point is. Like, he wants to be a Jedi, or he wants, he aspires and he thinks everyone's going to be good and everyone's got to be a Jedi. Welcome to reality, kid.
Yeah.
That's what made Luke so special, and Disney's the one that fucking killed him. So, and you're in a Disney show, so
yeah,
you're not getting the Jedi that you want. Oh God, which is just like arguably the worst part about all of this. They write a show that's celebrating Jedi as being what we grew up with, and yet faced with the reality that they are the institution that twisted and distorted Jedi. So much so that in the last bullshit series, they were the bad guys. That's how fucked up they turned Jedi. Not only did Luke Skywalker himself say the words, "The Jedi have to end," but he actively worked to that end. And then he fucking died. So Disney doesn't have a good track record with living up to the integrity of Jedi.
That is very true.
Fucking ridiculous. I don't know. So did you have, like, was there a favorite moment in this for you?
Not really. I mean, it was pretty boring. Like, it's, even if there was something cool that happened, it still probably would have fallen flat for me.
Yeah. I'm trying to be positive and not just like constantly negative. I'm having a hard time thinking about like a good thing in this episode. Some of the kids' interactions with each other. That's got to be it, because I like kids being kids. Just like ridiculous, especially Sassy Pants and McSassy Fern. I really like her character. I like kids with a fucking head on their shoulders, and she's got one, so I dig that. I don't mean literally here, people. So I really like Neil. You know, he's just like, he's the ride or die friend that everyone wants to have. That, you know, he's gonna go with you. He's gonna help you out. He's gonna, you know, be by your side, but he's gonna be funny as fuck, complaining the whole time.
Yeah.
And just, you know, being him. And I hope we get to see an Oregon moment. There's no reason why we should, but if we see an Oregon moment, that'd be dope. Like, they throw like a bunch of stuff in here. We saw the little hologram dancer thing in this. You know, they've got little like sort of like old school, like obscure Star Wars references. And even like Crimson Jack was an old Marvel Comics reference to a pirate called Crimson Jack. So they have these little things they're throwing in because they think that that's going to make up for all of the other bad writing, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It just makes me more frustrated that they feel like they have to throw that stuff in to make up for it, because the writing itself should be good enough. We're not, and here's the worst part about it. We're not asking for like the greatest show ever. We're just asking for a perfectly serviceable Star Wars show that feels like it's Star Wars and not an amalgamation of other shows we like. Can you not just do an original IP show? You have to like mix in a bunch of other shit. Like, at what point is Tony Danza and Mr. Belvedere gonna pop in here, for fuck's sake?
That's the day that I fucking cancel my Disney Plus subscription, definitely.
Oh, I don't know. Was there a most egregious or least favorite part for you?
No, that's the thing. Like, it was just meh the whole way through. Like, there was nothing like too far on either direction. Like, there was nothing I liked, but there was nothing I hated, and that's the frustrating part. Like, I'm not feeling anything from this. My
least favorite is well, it's the owl. Is my, like, I hated that owl. Every bit of that owl. I just hated it being in this show. But outside of that, it's Jude Law's character. He doesn't make any sense.
No.
There's no reason for him to make any choice that he ever makes in any of these episodes so far. And I don't care. I don't care if he's a fucking ex-Jedi scoundrel smuggler. I give a fuck. I don't care if these kids ever make it home. You have written us to not care. That's how you've written this show, that the audience is not invested in whether they get home or not, because that's not what the show is about. The show is about going from episode to episode, having witty banter and smack talking between the kids and between Jude Law, and we're just supposed to ha 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 ha. Woo, Star Wars is fun. And that's it.
Yeah.
And fuck you, because that's not what Star Wars is. Ever. It's never been that. Never. Not once. It's so aggravating. And everyone who watches our fucking responses to it is just like, you don't understand Star Wars.
Yeah,
all
we
right.
don't understand Star Wars.
Apparently.
Fuck you.
All right. I guess
it's
I
like
just
we
don't
do.
get
That's
it.
why we're so mad about it.
Like, all the years reading the novels and comics, all the years playing the fucking games, all the years watching all the movies, I don't understand it at all. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm an expert at it, but I know fundamentally what makes Star Wars, and what you're putting on screen is not it. You're making Goonies in space. You're making Never-Ending Story. You're making the fucking Time Bandits. You know, you're not making Star Wars. It's just that simple. All right. Well, I've bitched about it enough. Anything else?
No, we definitely covered it.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in, both live and chat or after the fact. Let us know what you thought of this particular episode in live if you're in the chat. Thanks, Chris, for tuning in. Or after the fact in the comments below. Did the owl feel particularly Star Wars universe to you? Do you think Jude Law is a scoundrel, or do you think he's really a Jedi? Or do you give a fuck? Let us know in the comments below. We invite you to subscribe to this channel, click the bell, get notified about our next video. And of course, you can always support this channel by YouTube memberships. Starts at 99 cents a month. And consider picking up some of our custom designed Star Wars apparel, like the one our beautiful co-host is wearing. Links are in the description below. So until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy looking Nerf Herders, may the Force be with you.
But I'm not even tired.
Worst fucking joke ever.
I was so mad. So, hard cut to her sleeping. It's like, come on, God damn it.
Every parent watching was just like my kids.
Oh, God.
Oh, so annoying.